welcome back to my channel. I'm Jacqueline if you don't know me, and I make new videos every week on a whole variety of things. And this week I wanted to share with you my monthly favorites from January. Oh, this is Tahoe, by the way. Tahoe's like in every single one of my videos because he cannot resist being in a video. Anyway, I'm going to share my January favorites with you, and since my channel does encompass a lot of things, I have a few different categories I'm going to share with you today. So I think I've categorized them well, so let's hopefully see how I get through this. So the first thing I'm going to start with is my beauty favorites from this month, and I have two beauty favorites this month. First is this Maybelline BB Fresh. It's a BB cream. And I have been loving this for like my everyday makeup. I'm going to be posting an everyday makeup tutorial soon, and I use this in it, and I think it's just beautiful. I have dry, acne-prone skin. This doesn't make me break out. It also makes me look really fresh and glowy, just like the name implies. I'm pretty sure Maybelline has a matte version of this too, but for dry skin, this one is great. If you're worried about slipping around, you can definitely set it with a powder. I set it with a powder foundation, but it still looks beautiful and glowy. It's just the perfect amount of coverage for like an everyday makeup look. Like, I've worn this a few times and my husband Matt has been like, oh, I didn't even notice you were wearing makeup, like you just look like you have really good skin right now, until he gets like close, like really really close. That's when he'll be like, oh, you're wearing makeup. But I've been loving this. It is so beautiful, and it's a great BB cream, especially for the price. So I've been loving that. My second beauty favorite is this Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. Oh, the BB cream, I have it in the shade Light Medium, and this I have in the shade Fair. I have been loving this. I have it on today actually underneath my eyes and a little bit down the center of my face. But it's really creamy and emollient, and it has great coverage. This is a really great shade for me. I think it really helps smooth my under eyes. I don't notice like a ton of creasing and stuff when I use this. I do mix it a lot with my Maybelline Age Rewind, which is also great. But I have been loving this, and yeah, I just think it's a great concealer. I don't tend to buy high-end concealers just because I feel like I go through them and like they go bad before I use them, or you know what I mean? So like, what's the point in spending $38 when like this, I think this was like $10. One is just as good and isn't going to cost me as much. So I have been loving this concealer. All right. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about is my favorite drinks of the month. Me and my husband love to eat and drink, and well, that sounds horrible, but like when we go out and we're going to spend our money on something, we like to have experiences and go to restaurants and, you know, try new things. So this month I tried a couple new things. The first thing I'm going to talk about is actually also related to my travel favorites this month, which was in Arizona. They have prickly pear margaritas. I'm sure there are other places, but Arizona really has a lot of prickly pear margaritas. They're on like a ton of different menus, and they are so good. I think I had a couple, and they're just like the perfect amount of sweetness to go with the tequila and the lime, and I love prickly pear margaritas. I wish I could find them other places, especially around here in the Pacific Northwest, but they were really good, and I really enjoyed drinking them. And then my other favorite thing we got this month is we went up to the winery in Woodinville called Chateau Ste. Michelle. It's a very popular winery. It's very well known, and they make amazing wines. And we did a tasting, and one of the things we had a tasting of was this Lux. It's a sparkling wine. They can't call it champagne, obviously, because the grapes do not come from Champagne. They come from the Columbia Valley, which I'll leave my video up in the corner. Ooh, there it is, up in the corner of when I went out to the wineries. We didn't visit Chateau Ste. Michelle out in the Columbia Valley, but we visited other ones. But we actually had a taste of this during our tasting up at Chateau Ste. Michelle, and I'll leave that video up here too. And it was so good. We decided to buy a bottle. We were gonna drink it on New Year's Eve, and then we decided not to. We kept it and drank it just another random weekend. But it was so good, and we loved it. I don't know if this is like something that they have all the time or anything, but if you're up at Chateau Ste. Michelle, or if you're looking for like a special sparkling wine, this was a great one, and we really, really enjoyed it. All right. So I'm gonna move on to my foods going along with the drinks. So the first thing I've been really enjoying making in January is pesto. I grew up eating pesto a lot. My mom makes really good pesto pasta. And I've been making it a lot recently too. Hopefully I'm gonna try to do more cooking videos, and I wanna show you how I make my pesto, but it's just been one of our favorites this month, and we've been loving eating the pesto. The other food that I loved is we went to a restaurant in Arizona called Dominic's, and I will leave the link to my blog post about our Arizona trip down below if you want to check it out. The website's down in the blog post as well, and just a little bit more info on it. But it's kind of a high-end steak house sort of place, but the steaks were amazing. We all had different cuts of steak, and they were all really, really good. The sides were unique and fun. We had really good beignets for dessert. Yeah, it was just a really nice steakhouse and a nice experience. And if you're looking for something special and you're in the Scottsdale area, it's definitely a great choice, and we really enjoyed our meal there. And then the last favorite had to be Horny Toad. I'm actually wearing a Horny Toad sweatshirt. So this restaurant is in Carefree, Arizona, and I used to go there all the time when we were little. We go to Arizona when I was little a lot, and every time we went to Horny Toad, and it's just so much fun and so unique and quirky and kitschy, and it's just a great experience. And if you like fried chicken, this fried chicken is amazing. It is so good, and I'm obsessed, and I'm like already ready to go back and have more. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, I could gush on about Horny Toad forever. So good, so much fun. Obviously I love it. I bought a sweatshirt for a restaurant. Like, I've never done that before, I don't think. I like love it. So good. And then moving on, I'm gonna go on to our hiking favorites. So we didn't hike a ton in January just because, the weather in the Pacific Northwest can get a little iffy, but we did go to Little Mashel Falls, which is on one of my hikes I want to revisit in 2019. I'll leave that blog post down below as well, and I'll leave the video of us hiking Little Mashel Falls up there. But this hike is just outside Eatonville, Washington. You can get there two different ways. You can go the Bud Blanchard Trail, which is the way we went, or you can go through the Pack Forest, which we've been on before. Either one is not, they're both really similar hikes. You're kind of on old logging roads, and there's not much to see along the actual path until you get to the trailhead. And then when you get to the falls trailhead, the falls are just gorgeous, and they're so much fun. There's 3 different falls. We like the upper falls the best, though the path to the upper falls isn't as maintained. Because you do kind of cross on a private property for a second. But those falls are definitely the easiest to get down to and get closer to. The lower falls also is more maintained, but as you get closer to the falls, the pool kind of erodes the steps and stuff, and it doesn't look very stable to get down as close to the falls as the upper falls is. But it's just a beautiful fall. It's a beautiful hike. And we really, really enjoyed it. So that was definitely our favorite hike in the Pacific Northwest. And then my other favorite hike of this month was up to Brown Mountain, which was in Scottsdale, Arizona. It was on the McDowell-Sonoran Preserve, I think is how you pronounce it. But obviously we haven't, I hiked a few things when we were younger in Arizona, but we haven't hiked that together. Obviously me and Matt. So I'll leave the video to that up here. There's gonna be a lot of videos in this. But we hiked up that in Arizona, and it was beautiful. It was a lot of fun. It had a great view from the top, so you could see Pinnacle Peak and Tom's Thumb, which are two very popular hikes in Arizona near Scottsdale. And you could kind of see like all down into the valley and into Scottsdale, and it was just a really beautiful hike. And the McDowell Preserve is actually really nice because it has a ton of like loops, so you can make your hike as short or as long as you want. You can go up to a peak if you want. You can stay pretty flat if you want. There's a lot of options, so if you're in Scottsdale and looking for a hike, definitely the McDowell Preserve is a great way to go. We really enjoyed our hike up to Brown Mountain, so that was really, really fun. Okay, and then finally, oh no, not finally. So the next thing is kind of going along with Brown Mountain, which was our travel favorites, my travel favorites for the month. And obviously Arizona was definitely a highlight for us. We went for 4 days, and I'll leave both of our travel videos down below for it. And up in the corner, I'm sure they've been popping up as I've been talking. But we just had so much fun. It was a really great experience and really different from the Pacific Northwest. It was obviously nice to get into the sun and out of the cold for a little bit. But we just had a ton of fun and really great experiences. And one of those amazing experiences is another favorite, which is we went on a hot air balloon ride. We went on a sunset hot air balloon ride. And it was just beautiful. It was, I can't even describe how beautiful it was. If you are scared of heights and stuff, this is definitely like something you should not be scared of. I mean, this ride is super smooth. You're not up super high for the whole time. They kind of go up and down. But the ride is really, really smooth, and it's actually like pretty peaceful up there, unless they're like have the flames going to make you go up or down. It's actually really, really quiet, and the only kind of rough part is when you land, you kind of bounce. But even then, like, we only bounced like once on our trip, and it really was not that bad at all. And it was just beautiful. It was a really unique way to see an area, and I'm really glad we went on it, and I just had so much fun. It was really, I think that really was one of my highlights from this month, and it was just amazing. Alright, so my final category is books. The first one is cheating a little bit. We just got it, but I'm already super excited about it. So we bought this Ina Garten cookbook, Cook Like a Pro. We got it at Barnes & Noble's. And we've only made one thing out of it so far. We made, what did we make? We made a soup. I don't remember what soup it was though. We made this pork pozzola. I don't know how to say it. Pozole? And it was amazing. It was so good, and we're so excited to keep using it and try it. We did buy one other cookbook, but we haven't tried anything out of it yet. One of my New Year's goals was to cook something to do at least once a week, try new things. Me and Matt definitely get in a food rut. I mean, he works crazy hours, and some nights I just don't want to do anything crazy, so we get in food ruts and end up cooking like the same things every week. So I thought it would be a great way to try some new things and like know that like I have some new ideas and not have to like spend hours searching through Pinterest to try to find something new. So far this has been really, really good, and I'm really enjoying using it, and I can't wait to use more. This book has everything. She's got cocktails, soups and salads, dinner, veggies and sides, desserts, breakfast, and then there's a pro basics little section. So you can make a whole like 3-course meal with cocktails out of this book, which is really nice. So really, really excited about that one. And then my final favorite is this book called The Light We Lost. I finished this in 3 days. I read part of it on the plane to Arizona. I read most of it on the plane ride home from Arizona, and then I finished it one night in bed after we got home from Arizona. That's how good this book was for me. It's definitely a love story. It's dramatic. It's got twists and turns. I kind of figured out what was happening fairly early on, but it didn't like make it any like less exciting and interesting to read this book. The book was written so beautifully. The chapters are really nice and short, which I love in a book. I hate when chapters are like 30 or 40 pages long because it makes it hard to find a place to stop. These chapters were only like maybe 5 to 10, at most 10 pages long. So it was easy to like start and stop in multiple places, but I was crying at the end. I couldn't help it. Matt was like, what is wrong? I was like, I'm crying. This book is so good. But it's just really, really good. I'll leave a link to this one and the Ina Garten one down below. So if you guys want to buy them, I'm sure you can get this one on Kindle. I like to have cookbooks like physically with me. And then every once in a while, I like to read like a physical book. I don't know. There's something about just holding a book and having it in my hands that I really, really enjoy. I don't know. I'm weird. But yeah, this is so highly recommended. I loved this book. So yeah, I think that is all of my favorites for this month. Let me know what some of your favorites are. Do you have anything that I should read or try? Any food recommendations, anything like that? Let me know. But I think that's it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next adventure. Bye.